Would your link building SOP change if you didn't optimize for organic results? For example, building more geo-relevant links instead of niche relevant links? Maybe, but more testing would be required. It's a good question because topical links still influence maps ranking performance. 100% it's not as much influence as geographic links, but it certainly still influences because I did when I was first started testing geographic link building, I did testing both ways. Like, well, I had spent months focusing on the first 8 months of semantic links. All we did was topical link building. Um, and then after, because we do the competitive link analysis reports every month for every client, and I was analyzing the top 5 ranked organic search competitors as well as the top 5 in maps. And it took months of looking at the backlink profiles of the top ranked maps competitors to finally understand or recognize what was happening. And that's where I was seeing links from local sources. I didn't put two and two together for quite some time, but eventually I caught on. And that's when I started looking for it. And then I started seeing that that was a commonality between most of the top ranked competitors in map search are going to be that they have links coming from other local sources, either a higher quantity of links from local sources or a particularly strong link or two from a local source. And either way, those are links with geographic relevance that were pushing maps ranking performance when oftentimes their backlink profile wasn't topically relevant at all. Terrible looking backlink profile as far as topical relevance, but you could identify links from local sources point in their backlink profile. So when I discovered that and I started testing it, we had already been just doing topical link building. So we already knew what the effect that had on both organic rankings and maps rankings. But then I started doing testing with just geographic links on some of my own lead gen assets. And what I saw was a kind of a bigger push in maps, but still an improvement in organic performance too with geographic links. So I know that's going back to this graphic here. Let me pull that back up. It's going to be this one. Um, I just created this simple graphic just to kind of explain that. It's links with topical relevance, mostly influence organic, but a slight influence on maps. Links with geographic relevance, mostly influence maps, but with a slight influence on organic. So to answer the question, it may change my linking strategy, but I need to do more testing before I'm ready to give up on optimizing for organic search too. I'm not fully ready to give up on it. I'm just saying for a lot of clients that where, it's 70 in my own data from doing lead gen for tree contractors now for going on 12 years. It's been 11 years for sure. And I've run Google ads for tree contractors too. So in my data, at least the last time that I analyzed all of this, which was probably 4 years ago, my data showed that 70% of all leads that I've generated for tree contractors, which is thousands, if not over 10,000 leads, were coming from Maps Pack, right? And then 20% organic and 10% from ads. It wasn't exact 70, 20, 10. They were slightly, but it was roughly those numbers, 70, 20, 10, 70% maps, 20% organic, 10% from ads. Now, that would likely change now because of how the search results have changed significantly. My guess is organic search leads generated from organic search is less than 20%. And it's a higher percent now than 10% in Google ads, whether it's local service ads or regular search ads or ads and maps. My guess is that's a higher percentage now than it used to be, where organic number of leads or percentage of leads generated through organic search is probably lesser. But maps is probably very similar to what it always has been, around 70% for queries that pop a maps pack, I mean, if that's clear. So more testing would need to be done. Hopefully that makes sense.